Tomorrow.
Okay, good morning. Parole Board be called to order at 8:52. Today is March 25th. With me serving on the board today will be Mr. Ledoux to my right. Ms. Renata is on Zoom. And my name is Pete Freeman, and I'll be the acting chair today. Would staff at headquarters introduce themselves?
Francis Abbott.
Okay, is there any staff in there with you, Mr. Smith? Wait,
Lieutenant Townsend right here, sir.
And what's your name, ma'am?
Lieutenant Townsend.
Okay, Ms. Townsend, just real quick, have y'all had any problems with him since he's been there?
No, sir. We've only had him for a couple of weeks, but he's been well behaved, no problems.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, Ms. Townsend. Thanks
You're
for having me.
welcome.
Okay, so, Mr. Smith, you're here today for your revocation hearing. How we're gonna handle that, do you have your questionnaire in front of you that should have been given to you by the probation officer?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign that questionnaire?
At the bottom.
Okay, and if you wanted an attorney today, you know you would have had to hire one. Do you want to proceed without an attorney?
Yes.
You have a retained counsel?
Yes.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rebecca
Okay, what's
Goldstein.
your name, ma'am?
Rebecca Goldstein with the Public Defender's Office in New Orleans.
Okay, thank you, Rebecca. We'll let you speak at the correct time.
Thank you.
I'm sure you would like to speak after all of the people in favor speak, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and all right, so we also have joining us Brian Lors, social worker, Bobby Wallace, a friend, and Ms. Goldstein. We also have Pierre Hardnett from PMP. Mr. Hardnett, I'll allow you to make a statement if you wish to. You're here for information purposes, so if you want to make a statement, you can. All right, so your case has been assigned to Ms. Ledoux, so Ms. Ledoux will be asking the questions.
Mr. Smith, you are found to be in violation of the conditions of your parole in that rule number 4, on or about 10/17 of 2024, you were engaged in criminal activity when you committed the crime of domestic abuse battery, which led to your arrest by the New Orleans Police Department on the aforementioned charge. On 1/28/2025, the Orleans District Attorney null crossed the parolee's domestic abuse charge due to the victim's non-participation. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or guilty with the statement?
Not guilty, ma'am.
And also you're alleged to be in arrears of $3,598 on your supervision fees. How do you plead?
Guilty.
You want to call supporters at this time?
Yes, I am. Okay, Mr. Brian Lors, what do you want to tell us about Mr. Smith?
Yes, good morning. Again, my name is Brian Larson. I'm a social worker with the Public Defender's Office. And I just want to first start with this, with stating that we've done a thorough investigation. And I feel comfortable stating that Mr. Smith did not commit any physical abuse by no means. And I also want to say this here, a lot of time and effort and thought went into putting this plan into place, for Mr. Smith. I've had several opportunities to meet with him, as I stated in my reentry plan, and and when I assessed Mr. Smith, I identified some things that he could definitely benefit from, a lack of support system. And I just want the board to think about this here for 1 minute. Mr. Smith, he went away to prison at a young age and served a lot of time. And he didn't have the opportunity to learn how to address or cope with situations in a way that is more acceptable. Now, we all have disputes and disagreements, I'm sure, with our wives, husbands, partners at some point. But the difference is that we address it in ways that are more acceptable. So that's why I individualized this plan to help Ronnie, because Ronnie needs the support. He had a hard life, and I think he deserved a chance to get it right this time. He has a lot at stake. I secured housing for Mr. Smith at First 72 Plus. They're ready to take him immediately. I also referred him to the New Orleans Day Reporting Center, and this is the New Orleans Day Reporting Center works in conjunction. It's ran by the Orleans Sheriff's Department, and they work in conjunction with the Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Correction.
Correct. We know all about First 72.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the New Orleans Day Reporting Center.
Well, I know all about it. Okay, we know about it.
Yeah, they offer the parenting classes, anger management, domestic violence, and all of those things. So I think that he acknowledged maybe not addressing situations in a right way. We had this discussion about what you think you could have done better. And I usually have this discussion with all of my clients, and they always almost say that, hey, yeah, I should have maybe just walked away. I could have just walked away, and maybe talked to my wife or my partner when things calm down. I recently had an interview with Miss Patton. Miss Patton came in, who, by the way, is pregnant with Ronnie's child. And she confirmed to me and the attorney, Ms. Goldstein, that she was angry and she just called the police. So, like I said, I put a lot of thought in this plan, and it's detailed and specific to address Ronnie's needs.
Correct.
And, my hopes is that, this board just consider, all that I've said and the work that I put into this here and the team has put into this here. And, yes, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it. Mr. Bobby Wallace, a friend, what do you want to tell us about Mr. Smith?
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. I've been knowing Ronnie for over 20 years. I've been knowing him because I'm a returning citizen. I was in Angola with him. And I had an opportunity to actually get a personal relationship with him. And I also was, from time to time, actually being a supporter out here in his life. But in my return out here, there were some things that I needed to focus on. However, I realized that some people don't identify what love and manipulation is. And he found himself in a situation where he was getting manipulated. Not that he wasn't strong enough to overcome it, but when you feel like you're in love, it makes a big difference in your life. But I want to say this. I want to say that Ronnie is a great guy. He tried to help whomever he can, whenever he can. And I can tell you, I give you my word, that I will walk with him every step of the way. And if possible, whenever he get out First 72 or whatever thing, I'm in the process of buying a house. He can come live with me. And I can assure you, he will not be involved in any incidents like this.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Mr. Wallace.
All right.
Okay, Ms. Goldstein, would you like to present your case for your client?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. Good morning. Again, my name is Rebecca Goldstein. I represented Mr. Ronnie Smith in his now dismissed case, misdemeanor case out of Orleans Parish. When Mr. Smith was 25 years old, he was convicted of armed robbery. Mr. Smith spent 23 years at Angola for that crime. Today, Mr. Smith is 50 years old. During those more than 2 decades that Mr. Smith spent at Angola, he dedicated himself to his education, his faith, and building his employment skills so that he could re-enter society as a productive and successful member of his community. Mr. Smith is particularly proud of receiving his culinary arts diploma at Angola's Culinary Art School. While in prison, as you just heard today, Mr. Smith created a strong support system for men facing similar challenges who have since come home. Those men are now able to offer Mr. Smith tailored support should the board allow him to be released back onto parole. Letters of support from some more of those men are attached to the parole board packet sent previously to the board. Upon Mr. Smith's release from Angola, he found himself housing and a job, and he worked to reintegrate back into society after those 23 long years. Mr. Smith communicated with his parole officer, Pierre Hardnett, who informed me that until this present matter, Mr. Smith had been easy to reach and was compliant with parole. Unfortunately, Mr. Smith stayed in a relationship that he knew was not healthy, which ultimately led to the arrest in this matter. Mr. Smith is before the board today because he is accused of violating conditions of his parole. The first violation, as stated by the board, is for criminal activity, and the second for failing to pay parole fees. As to the criminal activity, Mr. Smith was arrested on October 17, 2024 for misdemeanor domestic abuse battery. That charge was dismissed on January 28, 2025. The allegations in that case stemmed from an argument between Mr. Smith and his then girlfriend, Marie Patton. While Mr. Smith never got the chance to prove his innocence at trial before that case was dismissed, Mr. Smith acknowledges the unhealthy dynamics in that relationship, and he takes full accountability for staying in that relationship longer than he should have. Mr. Smith now knows that he can no longer be in a relationship with Ms. Patton. And despite knowing that they can no longer be together in a romantic relationship, Ms. Patton has expressed her strong desire for Mr. Smith to be released back onto parole. In her letter to the board attached to his packet, Ms. Patton expressed, quote, "I am not scared of Ronnie. He is gentle, loving, and supportive, and I hope you will give him another chance and allow him to go home." As Mr. Lars told the board, Ms. Patton is pregnant with her and Mr. Smith's first child together. Mr. Smith first learned that he was having a son from me over Zoom last week. When I shared the news, Mr. Smith broke down in tears. Mr. Smith has only one other child, a daughter who was born while he was still incarcerated at Angola. More than anything, Mr. Smith wants to be there to raise and support his son and not miss another child's birth behind bars. While Mr. Smith knows that he can no longer have a relationship with Ms. Patton, he is dedicated to showing up as the best father, co-parent, and man that he can be. And Ms. Patton wants this too. In her letter addressed to the board, she writes, quote, "I want my son to know his father and have him in his life." Finally, with regard to the violation that Mr. Smith missed payments, he admits to this violation and acknowledges his mistake. Mr. Smith had lost his job after a hip replacement surgery. And while he told his parole officer, Mr. Hardnett, about losing his job, and he worked hard to find another one, right before his arrest on this dismissed case, he had just accepted a job at the convention center.
Can you wrap up for us, please?
Yes. You'd already heard the release plan that we'd created. Mr. Smith acknowledges that he should have been making attempts to make payments regardless, and with the help of Mr. Lars, he will obtain a job as soon as possible to ensure that he makes all future payments. The reentry planning, I won't go through that again, as you've heard that, and it's detailed more thoroughly in the packet sent to the board. Ultimately, we are hoping that with this additional community support, as well as support from his social worker, Brian Lars, and our office, that Mr. Smith will gain the tools needed to understand the dynamics of healthy relationships, the skills needed to be the best parent and co-parent that he can be, and to reintegrate into society as a productive, successful member of his community. And so in conclusion, we respectfully ask the board to take into account Mr. Smith's capacity and demonstrated desire to grow, the 23 years he served already for his 1999 conviction, the wishes of Ms. Patton, and the tailored reentry plan we've submitted today when considering whether to revoke Mr. Smith to a lifetime imprisonment. Mr. Smith has learned from his mistakes. He's dedicated to his personal and professional growth, to becoming a dedicated father and hardworking member of his community. The board has great discretion in this matter, and we ask that discretion be used to show Ronnie Smith mercy today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Goldstein. Appreciate it. Mr. Hardnett, if you would like to would you like to make any comment with what you've heard so far?
I did not hear anything. I just heard the last of what Ms. Goldstein was saying.
Okay, well, we're going to interview Mr. Smith now, and if you, at the end of his interview, want to make a statement, we'll allow it since you were a supervising agent. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll go back to Ms. Ledoux. Thank you, Ms. Ledoux.
Mr. Smith, what class offender are you?
Medium,
I'm sorry?
medium, ma'am. Medium,
Now, how many times have you been a felony? Been charged with a felony?
believe 3 times.
So you're a third class offender.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how many times have you been on supervision?
What, parole?
Yes.
This my first parole.
Okay. You were paroled in January of 20. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I read through the probation narrative, which means every time they have contact with you, they make notes and they provide that to the board. So for the 4 years that you were out, you actually spent some time in because you had a separate charge, a third-degree rape charge that was dismissed, but you spent some time in during that period. But when I counted, you changed addresses 11 times in less than 3 years.
Wait, I didn't hear, ma'am.
Does that sound about right to you?
Well, I didn't understand what you said.
How many address changes did you have in the 3-something years that you were out? Address.
Oh,
Where did you live? I mean, how many different places did you live?
yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. It been a few addresses because the money, you know, me having problems having jobs and stuff until I got on Social Security.
Well, in reading it, some of the narratives said that you couldn't get along with the girlfriend. And how long were you with Miss Patton? How long had you had a relationship with Miss Patton?
Yes, ma'am. I've been with Miss Patton since I came home from Angola, and that'd be like, you know, the 4 years term.
So
And
she was the person you were living with at all of those different addresses?
yes, ma'am. The first one, I was at the first 72.
Right.
And I did my time in the first 72, and then I adopted myself of being with her. We were being with her the rest of the time, not being with her.
At one point, the narrative pointed out that they were doing a home inspection visit, and she got angry because they were there shining the light and stuff like that. And so they had problems, and several times you moved because you had problems with her. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
When this happened, did Miss Patton run next door to the car dealership?
Well, no, ma'am. I was trying to get out the house because we can't be together. And I had a stairway order against her. And I went to the landlord and told the landlord about it. And it's like she called the police on me. And and I'm talking to the landlord, and the landlord showed me on the camera that the police was downstairs where my house at, and they came to the office. Once they came to the office, and he asked me, "What's my name?" Ronnie Smith, and I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Before I talk to y'all, I got to replace you in handcuffs." I said, "What's the problem, sir?" And he told me, "Well, Miss Patton called the police on you." And I'm like, "No, I got a restraining order on her." And next thing you know, they just brought me to jail.
I'm very concerned that you've been out for 4 years, and I don't see the stability that I would hope to see from someone who knows what they're facing if they go back. I don't see the stability that makes me comfortable.
Well, believe me, I'm a good person. And since I've been home, I've been working, I've been staying out of trouble, I've been going to the First 72 for help, and they've been helping me. I've been also going to church, attend the church service. I've been helping people and staying out of trouble. And I never go outside late at night. I mean, I know my world of being being in prison. I've been in prison for 23 years, and ain't no way in the world. I'm 50 years old. I'm not coming home to do none of this crime. I'm not coming home to try to get myself in prison no more. I can't. I done learned a lot since I've been in Angola, and I got a lot. I got a trade. I do woodwork. I do leather work. I cook, and I've been staying out of problem. And then I asked my parole officer every time he called me. I have no problem talking to him or doing whatever he asked me to do. I mean, I'm not the person that will go home and try to get myself involved in problems. I can't do time. I mean, I can't see in Florida, I can't see myself get myself involved in a problem, because the simple fact is I was blessed to come home through God, through the parole, and to do what's right. I didn't come home to keep going to jail. That's not my goal. My goal is to come home to do what's right and abide by the law, and listen to my parole officer.
9/22, September of 22, you were reprimanded for changing addresses without letting them know. And 2 of 22, you were reprimanded because they hadn't had contact with you for 3 months.
Well, the first time by the moving part, I mean, like I said, I was slow. That was on me, and I apologize for that, because I mean, I thought it was still I was part of New Orleans, but I wasn't. And I talked to him and I apologized about it, and I tried not to make it happen no more. I'm not the type of person that try to leave without getting nobody permission. I mean, that was on me, and I apologized.
Okay,
I'm
well,
sorry.
I know that there are, you've had several different parole agents supervising you throughout the time. Mr. Hartnett is the most recent, and Mr. Hartnett, if it would be appropriate at this time, you're the supervising agent, if you would like to make a comment.
Yes, ma'am, and good morning. Yeah, generally, I have never really had an issue with Mr. Smith. He is where he says he's supposed to be. If not, you know, he'll meet me. The only issue that I've had is with him and Miss Patton. And first and foremost, my job is, you know, to make sure that the people that I supervise stay out of trouble. But it's also a matter of public safety for me. And having said that, you know, I don't know if Mr. Smith and Miss Patton continuing a relationship would be advantageous for either one. And so, like I said, I know that the stakes involved here, but I'll just defer to the parole board as to the decision. But my job is public safety, and that's what I'm concerned with, and that's why I took the action that I did in this matter. So.
Correct action. Okay, can I ask a question? Okay, Mr. Smith, I also have a few questions. Ms. Renata, after I ask my questions, I'll allow you if you have any. Mr. Smith, I got a big problem. You back in life. They had a warrant for you because they couldn't find you. I mean, I'd have been at the parole office every week if I was back in life. I mean, why were they having so much trouble finding you? 2 different times. Like I say, one time a warrant, and the only reason they recalled it is because you came back and talked them into it and said, okay, I'm gonna report and I'm gonna live where I'm supposed to live. And then next thing you know, they're having to reprimand you again. So what is the problem here?
I'm sorry, sir. It's no problem. It was a misunderstanding, and I was slow. I'm kind of slow in educating, and I'm sorry about that, sir. It will never happen again in life. I promise you. I put that on everything I love. I mean, I got it. I mean, I'm 50 years old. I know better than this, and I promise you, I'll show you better, and they wouldn't have no problem with me. As long as I'm home, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna do what's right. I'm gonna take care of my child. I got a child on the way, and that'll be the first time I ever had a chance to be home to really raise my child. And I will work. I will let them know at all times where I'm at, and anytime they need to get in contact with me, it would be no problem. They will have a free. I mean, can call me anytime. They want me to come to the office, I'm gonna come. They want me to be anywhere they want me to be, I will be there, sir. Please, I ask and I beg of my life to give me another chance.
Let me ask you another question. I mean, we hadn't even spoke about this. I mean, according to the police report, she had a busted lip and a swelling on her forehead. Yet you said it wasn't physical. How did she get these?
Well, Your Honor, my lady, she is an aggressive woman, and she's always accusing me of doing things. The way she got that from a girl that she accused me of, and her and the girl got into an argument and fight. And by her being mad with me, she used that to try to put me in jail. Like I said, I love her very much, but I would never go back to her because she one of the ones that had me in jail. And
The problem is she's having your baby, so you got to be around.
Well, I would take care of her, but I wouldn't be nowhere around. I'm gonna have my people to go get her. The first 72, that's who I'm gonna be living with. I'm gonna have them to go get her, and spend time with them, and do what I got to do for my child. And after I'm finished, I just have the first 72 to bring them back to them. I just want to have an opportunity to be home to be able to reach my child. I'm 50 years old. I learned a lot from my mistake now, and I understand what the situation there. And I promise you, I give y'all my word to please give me another chance, and y'all wouldn't have no problem out of me at all. I'm gonna be with the first 72. I'm gonna stay out the way of a problem or trouble, and
Okay,
I give y'all.
we got you. We got you. Ms. Renata, do you have any questions?
No, I just have a couple of comments, Mr. Smith. I noticed, as Ms. Ledoux has mentioned, I read all the notes from your supervising officer, and the situation with Ms. Patton has been going on quite some time. And you reported that you were having trouble with her. What took you so long to get away from it all? Well, you never did, actually, because that's why you're at where you're at.
Well, it was a threat with her. It's like every time I tried to leave her, she always threatened to call the police on me. And she always, if you leave me, I promise I'm gonna put you in jail for the rest of your life, because she knew I was on parole. And it's like I was scared to try to talk to somebody. So I called myself just trying to live with her without being in no trouble. And it's
well, that's not gonna work.
Well, like
you
I
see
said,
that now. It's not ever gonna work.
I'm not, like I said, I love her very much, but I'm not going back home to her. I'm staying away from her. I'm doing, I mean, I don't want to come back to jail. I don't want to do none of that. So that's why I want to stay with the first 72, to stay my distance from her, do what I got to do while I'm on parole, and continue being with the first 72. I promise you that. I swear to God, God forgive me for swearing. I don't want no problem. I don't want to be in jail. Right now I'm in jail, and I
I
can't.
understand. I don't have any other questions, Mr. Freeman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Matza. Okay, is the panel ready to vote, or Ms. Ledoux, you have any more questions? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to go into executive session if you don't mind.
I'll
Have
second.
a motion for executive session?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Smith, we're gonna go into executive session to discuss confidential matters, and we'll be back in a second.
Pronounce
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna come back from executive session. Do I have a motion?
I move.
And I have a motion and a second, motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Ms. Lanu. Okay, we're back in session and now we're gonna vote. So, Ronnie, here are our votes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
I wish all the people who said that they were going to help you when you get out would have stepped up to help you for the last 4 years. I don't know if it's because they didn't do it or you wouldn't take it, but that would have made a world of difference if you had had the support you needed in the past 4 years, maybe. But I am very uncomfortable with the instability and with the answers that Ms. Patton has given to the domestic abuse screening tool. My vote today is to revoke parole.
Okay, Ms. Renatza.
Mr. Smith, I've listened very carefully today. I've read the record. I do believe you when you say you don't want to go back to jail. You don't want to be in jail. You want to do the right thing. I do think the plan that's been established for you by the public defender's office is, if you work it, it's a good plan. My vote today would be, in lieu of revocation, to give you the opportunity for a work release program for 6 months. Add the special condition then that you comply with the plan that's been laid out by the public defender's office, and then no contact with Ms. Patton.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just one vote, but that's what I want to do.
Yes,
So that
ma'am.
leaves it to me, Mr. Smith. And I'm gonna tell you, you know how close you are to going back for life?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you realize?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
This is gonna be your last and only opportunity. You ever abscond again or have any problem, we're gonna do that. And I'm also gonna add, as well as, I'm gonna go with Ms. Renatza in lieu of revocation, 6 months work release, follow the plan presented by the public defender's office. Stay away from her, no contact whatsoever. When the baby's born, y'all have to swap the baby with family, friends, something.
Yes, sir.
Because y'all
Yes, sir.
toxic together.
Yes, sir.
And I also, when you get back, I want you to at least call in to the probation officer once a month. If they do not want to see you once a month, if they want to see you once a month, you see them once a month. But I want them to know where you're at all times.
Yes,
Okay?
sir. Yes,
Good luck,
sir.
sir.
Mr. Smith, when you need help, ask for it.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
The
Good luck.
officer was right there and you know, he got a lot to do and he's an important person.
I'm
Thank
going to
you.
thank the officer
Yeah,
for attending today, Mr. Hardnett. That's very helpful to have you in attendance. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. And I'd like to thank the board for having me this morning. So thank you.
Okay, that's our only case at CATAHOULA, so we'll be closing out at 9:32.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the parole board is called back into session. We are now, it is 9:40, serving with me on the panel today. My name is Pete Freeman. I'm acting chair. Ms. Ledoux next to me, and Ms. Renata is on remote today. So we are now at LaFourche Parish Jail. Gerard, is there anybody in there with you? Would you introduce yourself for the record, ma'am, please? Well, can't hear you.
Deputy Jennifer Exnicious.
Okay, I'm gonna just call you Jennifer. I'm not gonna try that last one. Jennifer, if y'all had any problems with him since he's been there, or anything you
No,
want?
sir, he hasn't had any write-ups, and he's actually doing some classes and things, so.
Oh, he's doing some classes. Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Major, do you have a parole questionnaire in front of you?
Maybe.
Yes, sir. Okay, did you sign that questionnaire?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understand that if you wanted counsel, you would have to hire counsel?
Yes, sir.
And do you want to proceed today without counsel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today joining us, we'll have Agent McGrew. And Agent McGrew, I will call on you. You can make a statement if you would like to. You do not have to, but I mean, if you would like to make a statement after we hear from the offender, you are welcome to. Or matter of fact, if you want to make a statement now, you're welcome to. How you want to handle it? Can't hear you. You're on silent.
Is it working now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll wait till the end. I'm just here to answer any questions, but I'll wait till the end
That's
to
all
make
we-
a statement.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I was assigned your case today, Mr. Major.
Yes,
So I'm gonna be reading the violations and and take your pleas. Let's see, let me get to that page. Okay, here we go, Mr. Major. You are to plead guilty, not guilty, guilty with a statement, or not guilty with a statement, okay?
yes, sir.
First condition you're charged with is that you failed to report to your probation and parole since 3/4/24. You were ordered to report to Donaldsonville Probation and Parole on 4/15/24 in order to complete interstate compact to Mississippi and failed to do so. How do you plead to that charge?
I plead guilty to that, sir.
You plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Number 3, I will limit the address on this certificate. If I must move from this address, I will get permission from my parole officer for doing so. In addition, I will not leave the state of Louisiana without permission from my parole officer. You have numerous violations of this condition during this period of supervision. On 8/1/23, the agent advised that you were in Texas without permission. The agent made 4 attempts to contact you at your home in the month of August, and numerous phone calls, your provided numbers, and we were unable to contact you, and a warrant was requested and granted on 8/29/23. On 2/26/24, you called and stated you were living in Raceland and working for your uncle. You denied going to Texas, stated you had family issues, and they lied. You reported to Donaldsonville Probation and Parole, and warrant was recalled. You wanted to begin interstate compact and move to Mississippi, and was told we could do that, and you must stay in Louisiana for the time being. How do you plead to that charge?
Okay. Can I speak on my behalf on that, sir?
Yes, you will. But how do you plead? And I'll allow you a statement.
Yes, sir.
Plead first.
Guilty.
Not guilty? Okay. All right. And you have an arrearage in the amount of $2,268 and may have made no payments towards supervision fees. How do you plead to that charge?
I made one or two payments, but
Okay.
for the most part, I couldn't pay it, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. At one time, you provided a residence with your uncle in Shriver, Louisiana, and was told to obtain information needed for interstate compact to Mississippi, and you failed to do that. And you were in Houston, Texas on 1/17/25, and you were arrested by the Houston Police Department and extradited back to Louisiana on 1/28/25. You admitted that you had left the state. Okay, you said you wish to make a statement. Go on and make your statement, Mr. Major. Mr.
Major. Yes, sir.
Hey. Yes, sir. Go on and make your statement.
Thank you. On the behalf of my parole guidelines and everything, I understood them, and I was trying to obey them to the best of my ability of being a free man. I wasn't trying to go against the rules and regulations with it at all. I was trying to I was trying to stay on the right path to make a better life for myself and to be there for my son. I know it may seem like I broke the guidelines, which I admit to it. But I wasn't trying to go against unlawfully, to be honest. I was just trying to I didn't really have no resource.
That's probation officer.
That's right. Even Mr. Devin, he bear with me. I can't lie on it. I lost one job due to transportation. The resident I was staying at, it wasn't nowhere for me, not for a person who want change, to be at. My mother and my sister who passed away, that's who I really had to turn to, who was living positive and was going to correct me even though I'm a family member or a child. It's like everybody else, because I changed my view of life and my walk of life, and as well as the decisions that I make. Place the good Lord word, apply it to the way I think in my decisions, as well as those who I'm around. I got backslashed, and I got downgraded for a lot of things, for wanting to better myself. A lot of people tell me that I'm weird now. I ain't the same. I know I ain't the same, and I'm proud of it. And if this what weird is, it's fine with me.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Where do you live now?
I don't have nowhere to live, to be honest, sir. That's what I was working towards. The good Lord led my steps that way to Texas because of some stuff from my past was somewhat hunted. And Mr. Devin know for himself, when I was in Assumption, it was in a good spot.
Gotcha.
So all I had left was in Raceland. But two of my brothers, they fighting their own demons right now with
Okay.
drug addictions. And it wasn't working out. Not
I
for
got
me.
Gotcha. I think we got the gist of everything. I mean, it's all of that. Mr. Magruder, you have anything to add? You still?
Mr. Majors, is it still not working? There
No,
we
it's
go.
what?
Okay. I'd just like to add that Mr. Major's correct. He was in a bad spot and we were working with him on that. But we tried numerous different times to get him into the office, to go to Mississippi, to go to Texas. We recalled a warrant when he was alleged to have been living in Texas. He said he wasn't. We took his word on it. We recalled it. And we just kept losing touch with him no matter what we tried. We were willing to work with him and get him there, but we just needed to do it the correct way.
It's true.
It's true. Okay.
It's
Well,
true. It's just that
okay.
can't
Well,
lie,
you put it in
you
the
know.
bad spot. All right. Thank you, Mr. Magruder. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is panel ready to vote?
Yeah.
I know.
So,
I hate to do this again. Yes, no, okay. I'll make a motion for executive session, please.
I'll second.
Okay. We're gonna go to executive, well, go ahead. Mr. Nelson.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Ms. Ledoux?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes. We'll be back in just a second. We're gonna discuss some confidential matters.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, Mr. Major? Okay. You know, Mr. Major, you presented us with a dilemma because we really believe you are trying. I mean, you're not lying. Your officer even admitted that you was in some bad circumstances. So this is what we're going to give you a shot at. We're going to order that you, in lieu of revocation, do 6 months in work release. Save that money. And before you leave work release, you need to get you a permanent address. If you want to go to Mississippi, do your interstate compact while in work release. And we're also gonna order that you pay the cost of extradition of $832.50. Okay? So work on the residence plan while you're in work release, else you're gonna be right back where you're at right now, and next time we're not gonna be able to help.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all very much.
Okay, thank you Mr. McGrew, we appreciate
You
it.
want us to vote?
Yeah, we need to vote, I reckon. Okay, so my vote is that, in lieu of revocation, we're gonna send you a 6-month work release. And so that's my vote. Ms. Ledoux?
I'll concur.
Ms. Renatson?
My vote is the same. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Agent McGrew, I want to thank you for being here today.
Yes.
Also for your excellent supervision, and we appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll be closing out at LaFouche at 9:56. Okay, the parole board back in session. We are now at Jefferson Parish Correctional Center. Would the officer please introduce himself?
Yes, sir. This is Deputy Ryan Landry with the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office.
Okay, Deputy Landry, have y'all had any problems with Mr. Epherson since he's been there?
No,
Okay. Any comment you wish to make at all? None.
none that I know of, sir. No.
All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate you having us today. Okay, today we're here for your revocation hearing, Mr. Epherson. Speaking on your behalf of Ayanna French and Lenora Epherson, your child's mother and sister. Okay, do you have a parole questionnaire with you, Mr. Epherson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you sign that questionnaire?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you realize you're not eligible for appointed counsel. If you wish to have counsel, you would have to hire one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you want to proceed today without counsel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Epherson, I'm gonna read you conditions that you have violated. No, not first. First time I let the speakers introduce themselves and say what they have to say on your behalf. Ms. French?
Yes. Would
Okay,
you
what do
like
you have
me
to say about Mr. Epherson?
So I wrote a statement that I emailed, but I'm just gonna go ahead and read it to you all. So it says, my name is Ayanna. I am the mother of Sylvester's soon-to-be-born child here in a few days. I wanted to give my statement regarding his freedom that I believe he deserves, with hope that he'd be able to continue his parole sentencing outside of the traditional jail system. Prior to the event that Sylvester was accused of back in June, he was a hardworking young man staying out of trouble and dedicating himself to keeping his life on track with moving forward from the prior sentencing that he once was serving. Sylvester was on the right track to a better future, not only for him, but for his children as well, setting an example of what it meant to be a hardworking young man and role model, regardless of what the world or his record made him out to be, or what prior image he had caused upon himself. I do believe and would hope that the parole board would allow him to finish his parole sentencing outside of the jail system so that he can provide love and care to his children and be present in their lives as he was. I cannot speak fully on the situation that had taken place with the plaintiff because I was not present, although I was in the state of Louisiana at that time with him. One thing I would like the courts to consider is the fact that the plaintiff withdrew their statement once realizing how much of an impact it had caused on the defendant. One withdrew their statement once realizing that their own selfish intentions to punish the defendant for simply choosing a better life for themselves would cause the defendant to be punished for nothing. I truly believe that the evidence presented in the case is not liable enough to hold the defendant at fault for something that they didn't do. Prior to the event that the defendant was accused of, there was no police contact. Prior to the arresting of the defendant, there was no acknowledgement from their prior parole officer that there was an active warrant, nor was there any police contact during that time either. Sylvester deserves to continue to prove his innocence and change outside of the jail system while continuing to finish his parole sentencing as a free man, not one locked up inside while being kept away from his children and his loved ones due to someone else's ignorant behavior and hateful intentions. Please do take all into consideration. I am soon to have my baby any day now, and I would like the support from her father to continue, as well as him proving to be an outstanding African-American man who can inflict change and not just be a part of it.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate that, Ms. French. Now we'll hear from your sister, Miss Lenora Epherson.
Good morning. I'm Sylvester's sister. While Sylvester was out on parole the first time, we were working to get his license so that he can get a better job to support his kids. But while he was out, my grandmother and I helped him financially to not only take care of his kids, but we're working to get his license so that he can get another job. And we plan to help him get his GED as well.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Epherson, your case has been assigned to me, so I'll be asking you the questions. I'll read the violation. You can plead guilty, not guilty, guilty with a statement, not guilty with a statement. Okay?
Yes, sir.
The first, is alleged that you violated condition number 4. I will not engage in any criminal activity, nor will I associate with people who are known to be involved in criminal activity. I will avoid bars and casinos. I will refrain from the illegal use of drugs or alcohol. On 11/27/24, the subject was arrested by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office for unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling, domestic abuse, child endangerment law, and simple criminal damage to property. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened? Well, why were you picked up?
I was picked up. I didn't know I had a warrant. I went to go and get my kids, and I got pulled over on my way from work. I had just recently got my car back, and I was on my way to work. Well, on my way from work.
Okay. Okay, so you have 2 children getting ready to be born, or 1?
2.
2, right. You have 1 with the victim and 1 with the young lady that spoke earlier.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And so what happened? I mean, obviously something took place. The police got called, and the victim says that she was pushed against the wall and you were choking her. There was a child present. Tell me what went on.
There was no physical altercation. I went to the house because she was complaining about I wasn't spending time with my kids. I went to the house, and then instead of her telling me something about spending time with my kids, she brought up the situation where I had another baby on the way. And I told her that I didn't have time for that. And I grabbed my oldest daughter and I tried to leave the house. And she told me, what she told me, she was like, you can't take her because you got another baby on the way. And I still took my daughter, left out of the house, and went to the store. And she called the police trying to get my daughter back. And I let my cousin drop my daughter back off.
Okay. Did you throw a phone?
No, sir.
Did you ever throw a phone? Did you do it prior to this on another occasion?
In 2020, I broke a phone on accident. I had dropped it.
Okay. The officer also indicated that she had minor lacerations underneath her left eye, and chin. How do you explain that?
She had got into a prior incident with one of her family members.
Yeah, how do you know she got in a fight with one of her family members?
I'm very aware that, like she tell me everything that goes on with her family. And prior to that incident, the day before, I was over there by her. I actually have keys and stuff to the apartment. I was staying with her and my grandma at the same time.
Okay. I have no further questions. Does either one of my fellow panel members have a question? Mr. Martin, Ms. Laduda. Okay, well, we're gonna, it's time to vote. So, Mr. Epherson, I read the arrest report. I looked at everything. There was pictures taken. I think something went on in that apartment, and strangulation, that's public safety issue for sure, especially in front of a child. My vote today is to revoke. Ms. Levitt?
My vote is to revoke based on violation of conditions of parole.
And Ms. Renata?
I agree. My vote today also is to revoke. I find him guilty of violating his conditions of parole.
Okay, so today your parole has been revoked. Good luck to you, sir. And we're signing off at Jefferson Parish Correctional Center. Okay, parole board is called back to order at 10:21. Serving on the panel with me today is Ms. Ledoux and Ms. Renatza, and my name is Pete Freeman. I am the acting chair. We're here now for a revocation hearing on Jack Collins. Is that you, Mr. Collins?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and DLC number is 773107.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Collins, we're here today for your revocation hearing. Speaking on your behalf will be Christy James, employer, and Donis Yates, grandmother. Okay, first I need to know, did you get a parole questionnaire, Mr. Collins? Okay, did you sign it? Yes, sir. Okay. Do you realize if you wanted counsel today, you'd had to hire an attorney?
Sir?
Do you request appointed counsel?
No, sir.
Okay, you wish to proceed without it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, we're gonna hear from Miss Christy James. Miss James.
She got difficulty right now.
She's what?
She getting on, but she got big difficulty.
Okay, she's having a little problems getting on, so we're gonna go to your grandmother, Miss Donis Yates. Miss Yates?
Sir.
Okay, tell us what you want us to know about Jack.
Well, when I built my new house, I didn't know when I moved in this area, it was heavy with the drug scene. And he got mixed up in it, but I sent him to rehab over at Gaucher. And he stayed there and he came out and he was doing really good. But I just, he has 2 little boys and a little girl that really, really need him at home. When he got this out of St. Tammany, I told him, I said, Mama, I'm 73 years old. I've got a few years maybe left. I said, you've got to grow up. You've got to. So anyway, he got this job with his employer. He was working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. I gave him my car and did without transportation so that he would be able to go. And he did. His employer and them said that he was a very good worker. When he was going to school, when he was little, he was always in the gifted class. They gave him the equivalency exam. It was 137. And he was chosen to be in the homecoming as a page. I mean, he did really good. When he got in the 11th grade, he was going to school and he got to misbehaving in class. So I went one day, he come into class and here I sat. He said, Mama, what you doing here? I said, well, son, I'm going to see what you're doing. So after class, the next day, I showed up again. He said, Mama, if you don't come, I promise I'll behave. I promise. So he says, okay. And after he went out, Mr. Lucky Langston, he's a principal now, he said in all of his years of teaching, he had never seen a child with his skill. Said you could ask him whatever equation you wanted, and his eyes would be like a calculator, and he'd give you the right answer. I told him, yes, sir. He's always been very proficient in everything. They said at the regular school, that's why he got so antsy, because he knew everything that they were teaching. They said he really needed to be in a higher learning. I think they said where they do the math school like. But anyway, I mean, this time when he got out, he sure made me feel better when he was going to work. And that PO from over there, I guess he went to my sister-in-law's. She works for the attorneys in One Shell Square, but she's single. She's an old maid. She's 1 year younger than me, and she's never been married. She has a little 1-bedroom condo. And anyway, he come over here, he got the job, he went right to work, working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the boss lady, whenever they got him, she says that she was going to see that she maybe had a little bit of pull, she'd try. but they've had him now for, I think, 2 months total. That's 2 months. His little boys wasn't getting no money because when he got a job, he started helping them. He did what I had been doing all these years.
Correct. Okay.
I really, really, really would appreciate it if you let him come home, because they're asking me, Mama, when's Daddy coming? His little boy had a birthday day before yesterday. He turned 13.
Mhm.
He's at an age where he needs him.
Okay, well, we thank you, Ms. Yates.
Honest.
Christy James, are you on with us now? You're on mute, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, tell us what you want us to know about Mr. Collins.
We hired him. We are a Louisiana-based company, and he did work for us here in Mississippi also. He's always showed up on time. He's done exactly what he's asked. He's an honest and hardworking employee. He's never given us any trouble. He's always been on time, done anything and everything. I mean, we really need him to come back as soon as he can. He's a good hard worker.
Okay, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. Okay, this case has been assigned to Mr. Renata. Mr. Renata will be leading this interview.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Collins, I'm going to read what the allegations are, and I'd like you to plead guilty or not guilty, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? So you're accused of violating condition number 3, and that says on December 20th, December 26th, December 27th, 2024, your agent attempted to make contact with you at your listed address on your good time certificate, which was 4808 Magazine Street. It was determined you did not live at that address. You didn't get permission, nor did you provide a new address. You did not get permission to leave the state of Louisiana, as evidenced by your arrest in Harrison County, Mississippi on January 31st, 2025. How do you plead to violating condition number 3?
Guilty, I did get arrested.
We'll talk about it, guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
So you're gonna say guilty, okay, we'll talk about it. Then there's condition number 9, pretty much the same. It says on December 20th, 26th, and 27th, 2024, attempts were made to verify your residence. Contact could not be made with you at the residence, and the residence could not be verified, thereby preventing contact by your parole officer. How do you plead to that violation, number 9? How do you plead to violating condition number 9?
Guilty.
Guilty. Okay, so let's talk about it. You know, I've listened to your grandmother, Miss Yates, and you're very lucky to have someone like her in your life. Your employer has said you did good, you've done well, you've done what was asked, but you didn't do what was asked by us. Why not?
You know, I had been locked up in St. Tammany for right at 7 months before I paroled out. And my aunt, I guess when I asked to parole there, she didn't realize that she's older. She never had nobody live with her. She didn't realize that meant me coming and living with her.
That's on Magazine Street?
Yes, ma'am. And at first, you know, she tried, but she couldn't handle me coming in. I guess her space being invaded. I got the job with Miss Christie, thank God. And it's the first time in my life that I felt like I was taking care of my responsibilities as a man. You know, and I guess with the fast pace, me going to work straight 7 days a week, it's just, I thought I was doing the right thing for my family.
Right, but listen, how many times you been on supervision?
I was on probation before I got.
Right. You're classified as a 3rd felony offender, so you've been through this before. You know what you're supposed to do. Your grandmother says you're a very smart man. You read the paper that you signed. It said I'm supposed to report. You knew what to do, and you just chose not to, right? I mean, I realize you wanted the job, you needed the job, and you had to get away from from the aunt and all that. And I mean, I realize, but there's a right way to do things.
Yes, ma'am, and I understand that, and I do apologize. I should have went about it a different way. I had the right intentions. I just went about it the wrong way. You know, and I really ask that maybe to show leniency. It allowed me to interstate compact to Mississippi, to where I'm from, my home. So I may continue to be a good man, a great father, and a great employee. This is the first time in my entire life that I felt like I was doing right for once. I really was. I was doing right. I wasn't getting in any trouble. I wasn't in no criminal activity. I was taking care of my responsibilities.
I understand, but still, you knew you were supposed to, you knew about the interstate contact. You should have initiated that process. You should have talked to your parole officer. They're there to help you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I understand. And it was just so, everything was just moving so fast. You know, and now looking at it, I did receive a call from Mr. Donzo, and I did call back with no answer, no reply, which I know it isn't an excuse. I'm not trying to make no excuses. I just want to ask that perhaps the board please give me this one chance to continue being the man that I've been being, a good man, a great person. This is the first time in my life. I don't want to backstep. I really don't.
Well, I think you were released in December of 24.
Ma'am?
You were released in December of last year.
Yes, ma'am, December 1st. I didn't even have enough time out to make my first payment.
And your full term date is later this year.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to sit back and defer to my colleagues. I don't, you know, I've read everything that's in the record. I've listened to the folks that are speaking on your behalf. I do have some information that is a little concerning, but I'm going to sit back and listen to my colleagues.
Yes,
Mr. Freeman, I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have any questions?
Now, I noticed that you were reprimanded February 1st of 2025. Did you admit to alcohol or drug use at that time?
No, ma'am. I was arrested January 31st.
Okay. Okay. So people in Mississippi that the agents and people with law enforcement interacted with, they all said you've been living in Mississippi. So you were just living in Mississippi.
No, ma'am. I was staying there. I had been there probably about 3 weeks to a month. But I was working every day, and that's where I'm from, is Mississippi. You know, I didn't have nowhere over here. It was going to be in the streets over here in New Orleans, or continue working over there.
You know that you full term out November 21st of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You might have some time to work on an interstate compact if you're in. So I don't have any other questions.
I have no questions. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Nazi, you're first.
Yes, Mr. Collins, I hear everything everybody said. I do find you guilty of violating condition number 3 and condition number 9. And based on that information, my vote today is to revoke your parole and allow you time to work on the interstate compact.
I got a question.
Well, we got to let us finish voting. Yeah.
My vote is also to revoke your parole. You will have an opportunity in these couple months to get things straight so you can go out clean.
And my vote today would have been not to revoke, but we have a 2-1, 2 to revoke, 1 not to revoke. So today your parole has been revoked.
All right. Can I ask a question?
Real quick.
You said within a couple months to get my interstate compact. So does that mean with it being revoked, would I re-parole out?
You're right. You're going to end up getting out again before your end of your date. So you got to do interstate compact. They'll end up giving you a rap sheet and all, and letting you know what's going on. Okay.
That means I do re-parole though, correct?
I'm pretty sure that you go re-parole out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right, and that concludes our business at Orleans.
Yes, sir. May
Hello?
I ask you a question?
Blow it up, Hope. I can't see it. Got it.
All right. Call the parole board back to order at 10:48. My name is Pete Freeman. I'm acting chair. To my right is Ms. Ledoux. And joining us today remotely is Ms. Renatza. So we're here today for the parole hearing on Larry Julian. Mr. Julian, please state your name and DOC number.
Larry Julian, 324-095.
Okay. Would the staff at the prison introduce themselves?
All right. Good morning, Mr. Pete. How you doing?
Doing good. Good to have you.
Deputy Warden Keith Turner.
Donald Cavalier, Classification Manager.
Alvin King, Reggie, Director.
Jamie Duvall, Mental Health.
Amanda Paisley, records.
Hey, thank y'all for having us today, and we appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Julian, we're here today for your parole hearing. Tell us why you think you should get out, and what did you do to put yourself back in prison?
Well, the reason why I think I should get out, because the reason why I think I should get out is because that, you know, I really deserve it, you know, to be there for my family and for my kids and my grandkids. And I made a mistake, and that's what put me back in prison. And I'm very, very, you know, remorseful for what happened, the way it happened. And I just ask for mercy.
Okay, and what are you saying happened? What happened? What happened to put you back in?
Oh, I got arrested for domestic with a dating partner.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, well, we'll get to more into that. Your case today has been assigned to Who's the case for?
It's mine. It's mine.
Okay, it's Renatza.
Yeah. Mr. Julian.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So you were actually granted parole, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Previously, and then so tell us though, you're not being real specific about what happened. I know that you ended up pleading nolo contendere to battery of a dating partner. What happened in that incident? There was also a false imprisonment charge that was dismissed in December. What was that all about?
I was home. I was on vacation from work, and it was my birthday, the 11/6, and I have a friend, a lady friend, and we just wind up in an argument, and then I got into a little fight, and the laws came, and I got arrested.
Why did it say false imprisonment? What was that about?
Oh, the false imprisonment, they said false imprisonment is that I kind of like restrained her from leaving or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
so had y'all been drinking to celebrate your birthday?
Yes, ma'am. I had a few drinks.
Any you know, your original charges, drug charges, any of that going on?
Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Drug free, man.
Had y'all had too much to drink?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It was.
Who was the lady? What's her name?
Her name is Joyce Julian.
And so, so you're married to her? Is your wife?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Joyce Julian, isn't that your last name?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Huh. What's your relationship with Joyce now?
Oh, we part ways.
That's probably wise.
Yes, ma'am.
So I noticed that you were scheduled to be enrolled in the pre-release in February. Did you get in that class?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you finish it yet?
No, ma'am.
Where are you in that class? I mean, how long do you have to go before you finish it?
I'm not really sure how many weeks, but I think it says 100 hours.
Yeah, it's 100 hours. How often do you go?
Once a week.
Once a week. Okay.
Ms. Renata,
Yes, sir.
he'll complete that on May 9th.
Okay, good. Thank you. So tell us about your job. You just got to DCI?
Yes, ma'am.
And you work in Baton Rouge?
I got reclassed. I got reclassed to a kitchen worker because of my health.
You have some health issues? Oh, I
Yes.
do see there was a medical transfer recently from Hunt, I guess. If you were successful today, what would be your plan?
My plan would be to go back to work and move forward in my life and help my mom and my children and my grandchildren and be successful.
What type of work were you doing?
I was working for a real estate company, Keedy Real Estate Company out of Lafayette. And I
Doing
was remodeling, maintenance work.
Mm-hmm. And so your health issues that you have would not get in the way of that?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And plus I was cutting grass and plus I was remodeling on, on my time off for my job. I was working 40 hours a week with Keedy. And in my off time, I would occupy my time by cutting grass and helping people.
Warden Turner, what can you tell us about Mr. Julian?
Well, not a whole lot, Ms. Renata. We received him back in January. It's only been about 2 months. But since I can tell you, since he's been here, he's remained right up free. We were able to make him a trustee. And he hasn't given us any problems since he's been here. But like I said, he just got here in January, and it's not a whole lot I'm looking at that I can say about him.
All right, so the reclassification was not because of any
It wasn't disciplinary, no ma'am.
Okay.
And what I'm looking at here, Ms. Renata, he's got some surgery clinic and vascular clinic appointments. Not sure what that's in reference to, but that's what's on his paperwork here.
Okay, good. Thank you. So you have what were you doing when you were out to stay away from drugs? I think you're a third offender. All of your convictions have been drug related, except
yes, ma'am.
For the reason you're in jail right now.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me how you stayed away from all that drugs.
I just stayed around positive people, and I just had a mind made up that I wasn't gonna mess with no drugs no more because I did 10.5 years of my life, and I just made my mind up that I'm not gonna mess with no drugs,
May I suggest that maybe you don't need to mess with alcohol either?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Freeman, I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Ms. Renata.
Yeah.
I have no questions. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Ms. Renata, the case was assigned to you, so you'll be voting first.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Julian, I'm concerned, although I want to give you another shot at parole.
Thank you.
My vote today would be to grant your parole after you finish the pre-release program. You have to complete that. That's required by law now. That you report to your parole officer weekly for the first 60 days. And then that you have no contact at all with Joyce Julian.
Okay.
Wow, some want to talk about second chances. Mr. Julian, I don't know how many chances you're getting. I mean, your demeanor and shows me, I think, that you're ready to try to do better. You realize you messed up badly.
Yes, ma'am.
But you've done okay since you've been in. You need to finish your pre-release. My vote is to agree.
And I concur. So you're getting one more shot. So let's make this one work. We were going to grant with the special conditions that you complete pre-release and no contact with Joyce Julian, and report to your probation officer every 2 weeks for the first 6 months. Okay, so good luck to you, sir. Your parole's been granted.
Thank you very much. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman, Ms. Renata.
Thank y'all for having us. We're going to be signing off at 11 o'clock from Dixon. Okay. Parole Board is called back to order at 11:13. My name is Pete Freeman. I'm the acting chair. To my right is Ms. Ledoux, and joining us remotely is Ms. Renata. Okay, we're here today for the parole hearing of Paul Nolan. Mr. Nolan, would you please state your name and DOC number? Nolan, y'all on mute.
Paul Nolan, 1971.
Okay. Mr. Nolan, you're here today for your parole hearing. Your case was assigned to Ms. Ledoux, and she will take the lead when we get to her. Please tell me, why do you think we should let you out, and what got you in there to start off with?
Beyond me, just what got me off in, because I really had no place to stay when I was. Excuse me?
Okay, you didn't have a place to stay. Did you go register?
Well, no, sir, because I was looking for jobs. I was looking for jobs and trying to get a job to pay my parole fee, and I lost track of time.
Okay, we'll get into it deeper when Ms. Ledoux does your questioning. She has been assigned your case. Warden, who's there with us at Richland?
Oh, you're Sergeant Kelly. Sergeant
Okay.
Kelly.
Sergeant, have y'all had any problems with him over there? We don't have any disciplinary history.
Oh, no, sir. I haven't seen. I actually work on the other side.
So, while we're interviewing, could you try to check with somebody and see if y'all had any disciplinary problems with him? Because that's very, very important for this hearing.
You call the lieutenant.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to continue. You have nobody here on your behalf. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Ledoux.
Good morning, Mr. Nolan. How are you today?
I'm all right, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Nolan, let me see if I can recap a little bit. In 1991, you were sentenced to a 60-year sentence, and you served 30 years of that and then were released on parole. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then a couple of months later, because you failed to register, you were revoked and returned to custody.
Yes, ma'am.
When you returned to custody, where were you located? I see you just got to Richland in 23. So, but you were revoked in 21. Where were you held from 21 to 23?
Bayou Dog Cheek Correctional Center in Midland, west of Paris.
Okay. When you were incarcerated the first time, on the current charge we're talking about, you had a mental health evaluation, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you taking any medication at that time?
Yes, ma'am. I was taking shots also.
And since you have been back in custody, have you had any kind of mental health intervention?
Yes, ma'am. I've been on suicide watch and everything. At this moment, I'm on protection.
So are you currently receiving medication for your mental health concern?
Well, ma'am.
Okay. One of the requirements for release for parole now is that you have educational achievement, basic adult education or a craft. While you were in the first time, did you take any education classes?
I was in school.
Yeah,
But-
school.
And I was in the reentry.
Were you able to finish any of the schooling?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
My comprehension ain't really that good.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. You had a few problems when you were in previously, didn't you, with the other inmates, and you had quite a few write-ups.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that was due to just adjustment, or did you have some anger issues, or do you think your mental health status was the problem? What do you think was going on? Yeah.
Above all three.
Okay. Okay. You know, I've read the report. What you did was pretty bad. How do you feel about what your charge is?
Upset, angry.
Okay. I don't think I have any other questions right now.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Nolan, you mentioned that you're on protection right now. Didn't you say that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that at your request? Did you ask for that?
Yes, ma'am, because I'm feeling threatened.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was just curious. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Freeman.
Okay, thank you. Where will you live at if you get out?
I was hoping I would got my parole transferred to the place in Arizona where they all have ex-sex offenders people.
Okay, but you haven't gotten that done yet?
No, sir.
Okay, have you been in contact with them at all?
No, sir. Be honest with you, I had forgot they had wrote y'all.
Okay.
Until I received that letter.
Yeah, we probably needed a little more preparation before you came before us. Okay, did you ever do sex offender treatment?
No, sir.
Okay, was that because of your mental capability, or you never registered to try to get into class?
Really, both.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yeah, you know, Mr. Nolan, I'm concerned that where you are currently placed is not capable of providing you with the evaluations you need to make the best choice today. I believe that you need a new mental health evaluation. So I would like to vote to continue your hearing so that we can send you to Hunt to be evaluated before we would continue.
Ms. Renata?
I agree, Mr. Nolan. I think that we need to get you back on your medicine so that you feel better. I can't make a decision today till I know that happens for you. So my vote today would also be to continue your hearing until we can get the mental health evaluation and get your medication right. And then hopefully we can have another hearing and help you out. You understand what I said?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. So, and my vote is the same. I think we need to continue it. So we will get you moved to Hunt as soon as possible to get you that mental health evaluation, and then we'll get you rescheduled.
Yeah, this
Okay.
isn't a denial.
This isn't a denial, this will reschedule. Do you understand all that we've said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, we'll see you again after your evaluation. Thank y'all at Richland, and we'll be signing off for the day at